All right, so this was just a section because more and more creators have been kind of, migrating. Obviously, a year ago, whatever, the main strategies were kind of like TikTok, Reddit, stuff like that. Now creators have started migrating to, Instagram Reels and YouTube and stuff like that. And so this was kind of just to show some other, for the creators that are still kind of feeling stuck on a certain platform, whether it's Reddit or Twitter, whatever it is that they're doing. This is just kind of something that I've been preaching for a long time, but I think people are starting to finally kind of migrate over to this strategy, or to at least, thinking about how to go in this direction. And so here's a few YouTube accounts. First, I'll bring up these YouTube accounts just to show what these creators are doing. And then I'll kind of like break down a little bit of the strategy behind these. So with YouTube, it's like anything, there's, the standard kind of promotional niche categories, which right now, one of the big ones is, YouTube try-on hauls, which seem to be doing extremely well for many creators. And so this is one where they're, creators are kind of just doing these different try-on hauls and stuff like that. The next one here is, things like yoga. So a lot of these creators are doing, well, if you want to call it yoga, but
it
yoga
is technically yoga.
I mean, yeah. So this is kind of, whatever you want to call it. However, the way that you can classify content in a certain category, whether it's yoga, stretching, or, a try-on review, things like that, which is why this type of content works. But yeah, so there's these different categories like this, and then I'll just bring another one. And so these are some pretty popular categories. Obviously, there's a lot more than this. This one is ASMR, obviously another very popular OnlyFans niche. But these, niches work really, really well on YouTube. But so the reason that YouTube is a really strong platform, in my opinion, is because you get so much more from it. Number one, for anybody who's in the group, they kind of understand the evergreen component of it. But if we look at this, so the kind of the way that we use this type of content is if, say for example, you create a long form YouTube video, and we'll just say that video is, a try-on haul or whatever. And then, from that try-on haul, you can then create a handful of short form videos from that one video that you made on YouTube. So you make one video on YouTube and you can get, a handful of shorts from that. We'll say you get 5 short videos. So now from that one piece of content, now all of a sudden you have 6 pieces of content. And then all of those short pieces of content would then get sent to all of the various short form platforms. And the reason that this is cool is because you can automate the large majority of this process. So essentially, you create a video on YouTube, and then you can set up, different automation systems to where the large majority of this is all just going to happen. So instead of like, a year ago, a creator would be putting all of her effort into TikTok every day, just TikTok. And that's fine, but what happens when TikTok doesn't work anymore? Well, then we run into the situation that everybody's in right now. We're like, oh, it's over, nothing works, blah, blah, whatever. But if you're focusing on something like this, where TikTok is just one small piece of your overall strategy, then, it doesn't have as big of an effect when these types of situations happen where a TikTok, where a certain platform stops getting views or whatever. So anyway, point is, if you want to kind of see specifically how we set this kind of stuff up and just these different systems and automation and stuff like that, I mean, you do have to do it in the right way. Otherwise, it doesn't work as well as, a lot of people that try to set up this kind of stuff, it doesn't work that well because a lot of people just don't do it right. But anyway, if you want to see more about that, I'll have the link for the group down in the description below. You guys can check that out if you want.